Hello there, welcome to another new episode of Beyond Barriers. Your host here is Matiku Boaz. Share, like, and subscribe. Today I want to talk about the physical disabilities. Previous episodes I've been dealing with the mental disability. So under physical disability, this is a long-term condition that limits a person's physical functioning. It limits someone's stamina, and it also limits the mobility of someone. It affects the person's ability to move and to control the body movement. So you have parts of the body, and this hinders you to control the body movement and having stamina in your body. This can impact into daily activities like walking. You can't walk on upright or on a good way. Standing, you have problems with standing. Sitting, moving hands and arms, or controlling all the muscles. So these are part of the physical disabilities. Key aspects under the physical disability: we look at the impact, we look at the duration, we look at the causes, and we also look at the types. Under impact, this defines the fact on how the physical condition affect person's ability to perform the daily life activities, the normal kind of things that we do on daily basis. So these affect you on how to do this kind of normal. Under duration, it is a typically substantial and a long-term condition. Through some definition may be included in the temporality limitation. So this is a long-term situation. For example, you are lacking one of your organ, maybe your hand, you are lacking your leg. It is something that's a lifetime organ. You will have it for the rest of your life. And then the causes: the physical disabilities can be present from birth. Those are the hereditary or acquired later in life through injuries. You can have an accident that can bring the physical disability. Also illness: when someone is sick, you can also acquire this physical disability, e.g. stroke. You can, if you have a stroke, that's something that is being caused with illness. So it's also bringing up the physical disabilities. Then types: the category is very broad and includes conditioning affecting the muscular skeleton and the nervous system. So they are such as mobility impairment, we look onto that, the neuromuscular conditioning, and other conditioning. So let me tackle a bit under the mobility impairment, and these ones under the types of physical disability deals with the spinal cord injuries, cerebral palsy, and amputation, and muscular dystrophy. So these ones are under the mobility impairment. Then the neuromuscular are under multiple sclerosis, and then the stroke. Under other conditionings, now they are where we deal with the epilepsy, the respiratory disorders. We deal there with the sensory impairment. Those are under the visual and the hearing. The losses are also grouped under the umbrella of the physical disability. So we have so many types of physical disability, which I will talk on to one by one. I will start now with the mobility impairment. I will move on to the neuromuscular conditioning and other parts like the epilepsy and the sensory impairment. So this mobility impairment, there's a type of a physical disability that affects person's movement. It's broadly defined as a condition that limits person independent, purposefully movement of the body or more extremities. So this affects someone's movement, trying to locomote from maybe one place to another, or trying to uplift something. So under this, we have the gross motor skills. This is the movement like walking, the normal things like walking, standing, running, or climbing stairs. So someone with a physical disability may have the gross motor skills. These are the things like standing. The person may have a bit problem with the standing or walking or climbing stairs. The second one, under mobility impairment, this is under fine motor skills, and this movement involving the hands, such as grasping objects, writing, typing, or manipulating small tools. So this specific line now deals with the hands. So when you have the hands, you can do a lot of things, like writing, you use the hand, like uplifting things, you have to use the hand. So maybe you got an accident, you don't have one of your hands, so you may have problems with lifting or writing or grasping objects. That is under fine motor skills. That is still under mobility impairment. Then you also have stamina and endurance. Conditions that severely limit a person's energy or strength for sustaining physical activity. So stamina, for example, when you lose one of your hands, so you will not have the full balancing of the body. So it will hinder you in doing some kind of activities. Mobility impairment, they can be temporarily, like a broken bone. For example, you may have a broken bone in your body. That can be repaired, or through the process going through the doctors, getting good treatment, then it can be something that is temporarily. Apart from that, it can also be permanent or chronic. These are like the paralysis when you have like a stroke. That is kind of something that it's really hurting, and it's really taking time into your body. Some common causes, there are some causes that brings this. I think part of them I've talked about them, but let me just give them faster. We have the neurological examples of conditioning. Those are the spinal cord injury. I think I've given that. Under impact on this movement, paralysis or significant weakness in the body and the limbs. Under there, we also have the cerebral palsy, lack of muscular control, difficult with balance and conditioning. Then we have multiple sclerosis. This is loss of motor control. This is also the fatigue and difficulty in walking. We also have stroke there, weakness of the paralysis, typically on one side of the body. And then we have the muscular skeleton. So under the category, there are two, the neurological, and then we also have the muscular skeleton. So under that, we have the amputation, that's loss of the limb, that is the requiring of prosthetic, wheelchairs and the aids. Then we have arthritis, those ones are the progressive weakness and degeneration of the skeletal muscle. And then we have the spina bifida. There we talk of the varices often resulting in weakness of the paralysis in the legs. Find that you have problems now with the walking. The legs have problem. Then the last part there is acquired injuries. These ones, we can have the traumatic brain injury, can lead to a wide variety of motor control issues and coordination problems. Aids and accommodation, these people, we can still also accommodate them in our society because they also have talent. They have to do so many things in their life. So individuals with mobility impairments often use various forms of assistance to enhance their normal day of work. This under here, we can give the mobility aids. These are the wheelchairs, cans, the crutches, and the walkers. This helps them in their movement. Then we can also give the assistive technology. This here, we give the joystick, the head pointers, we give the adaptive keyboards. Here, there can also help them in their way of communicating and movement. And the last part there is the environmental modification. These are the ramps. We can provide the ramps, the elevators, the accessible parkings, the grab bars, and doorways and the pathways. So under those aids and accommodation, it can really help us to accommodate these people who are having the physical disability. Under that physical disability, we are looking at the mobility impairment, things that typically the disability can affect the movement. Here we talked of the hands, the movement of the legs, how to grab things, and we have to accommodate all these people with the mobility impairment. So kindly subscribe, share, like, and have a comment on this episode. Thank you, and let's meet in the next episode.